So this whole thing started that my father wanted a new computer to replace his old iMac from 2011. This thing. He had this thing for the last, well, 5 years because originally it belonged to me. But I decided to give it to him and upgrade it to my own computer. Now I must admit, the last time I used AMD was about 2012. My first computer that I ever built had an 8350 8 core and a 7970 GPU. Wicked GPU, I must say. But I haven't touched it since. When I started my first job, when I got a bit of money for starting my first job, I upgraded to Intel i7 6700, which was a big jump from a 120, £130 GPU all the way up to a £270 CPU. Sorry. I originally built my first computer back in 2012, 2013. Just went into college, and I needed a new computer, and I just been working a weekend job, and I've been saving my money, so I decided to get a brand new computer, fully built by myself. That's where I really found a passion for technology, was building my first computer. It was a good experience. So this thing is the first AMD product I've bought since 2013, and I've always liked AMD. I don't have anything against them. They've been needed in the marketplace for both competition in both industries, both graphics cards and processors. Without them, innovation is stifled, to say the least. When you get 100% monopoly, what's the point of bringing out with new products when everyone's out buying your old products? Which has really got to show this year, because finally Intel stepped up the game and brought out their i3s at a base level of 4 cores, and AMD was the one who pushed them into that, and it was about time that became the baseline. So this really started when, as I said previously, that my father needed a new computer, a budget computer. So I've been using iMac from 2011, and he needed it replaced. So I started budgeting stuff out, started building a computer on PC Part Picker. Came to the dilemma: i3 or Ryzen. I heard good things about Ryzen. My friends have told me great things about Ryzen, so I thought, okay, let's give this a shot. So I had a look at for that kind of money, what could I get, and I ended up deciding between the Ryzen 3 2200G and the Intel 8100. As you can see in the price difference, there's about a £10 price difference, not a lot. But doing a little bit of research, I found out that these CPUs, there's not a lot in it. 5% at stock, about 5% more to the i3, but at overclocked, they come about even, when pretty much neck and neck. But to save £10, and generally the motherboards seem to be quite cheaper, decided we'd go with Team Red, give them a try. 4 cores, 4 threads, same as the 8100, but £10 cheaper, and yeah, you got overclocking capability. But something that really pushed me over to the edge in deciding was the APU. So I currently have not opened this yet, and I think I'm going to do that now. So let's break the seal, as it were. If I could find a pen. Right, I'm in. Took longer than expected. Well, you say you're in. Right. There we go. Okay. Inside we have, I believe this is the stock fan. For something this low power, it's obviously not an i7, an i9, or a Ryzen 7. We don't need any additional fans. The stock fan, I've heard from a friend, it's pretty good. So let's just stay with that. Let me get that out. Okay, plenty of plastic. Save the planet. Okay, I must say this is a pretty good design. I mean, it's quite pleasing to look at, I must admit. It's quite tight, quite compact. Nice threaded power cable. Smells nice. Comes with pre-applied coolant. I've just got on my finger, so hopefully it doesn't kill me. Don't think it will. So that's cool. And then we have the actual processor. So, okay. Right, there it is inside. Open that. Okay, so I got the fan out. This is the fan. Looks pretty good. Pre-applied coolant. Nice. Actually, this is pretty good to see. Now, this is something that Intel stock fans do not have. Threaded cables, which is quite nice to see. Actually, I must admit. Just put that back down. In this box, we've got the actual processor itself. So let's get that out. Comes with a little bit of information. Like, there's not enough information on the box. Open it up. There you go. There's the turn the right way for you. There you go, the actual processor. Pins on the back. Lots of pins. Not the first computer part that I've ever fried. I've lost a motherboard due to that silly mistake of not grounding yourself before working on a computer. Not fun. Not fun when you're a broke student and you've just destroyed a £130 motherboard. Not good. So as you can see here, the APUs for the 8100 is on the left. That's the UHD Graphics 630, and the one that 2200G is on the right. And it's a clear winner. There's no competition. It's more than twice as powerful, and you save £10. So it's a no-brainer if you have any need for any sort of integrated graphics. So if you're playing very sort of low demanding games, games like World of Warcraft, for example, so it's not very graphic demanding. Diablo's the same sort of. MOBO games, games that aren't, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, them kind of games, you'd go with the one on the right, which is the 2200G's Vega 11. So it's integrated into the CPU itself. That's the APU. Right, AMD has that, Intel doesn't. They do have very nice boxes. They're a lot more pleasing compared to the basic Intel ones. Much smaller, much more blander, just a bit blue, which is sad. Got more thermal paste on me. I might die tonight. So yeah, in the next video I will be actually building it, the bare bones computer. I say bare bones, it's a full system, but it's obviously on the lower end. My father does not need much technical power at all. So it's mostly going to be Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and hopefully nothing else. Nothing. Yeah. Anyway, bad thoughts. Right, on my screen now, you should see the actual specs of the 2200G. The Ryzen 3 2200G, should I say. So this is the first CPU that I've ever bought where the actual onboard graphics might actually matter, because whatever PC I've ever built, I've always had a dedicated graphics card, a 980, a 7970, a 1060, whatever, or a 1070 or 970. Built quite a few, so the onboard graphics actually matter this time. So obviously 4 cores, 4 threads, don't need no hyper. Number of GPU cores, a grand total of 8, compared to the GeForce GTX 1050, which has 640. So you're not going to be powering any AAA games at all. You ain't going to be playing no Crysis. Can it run Crysis? Probably not. It'll probably crash and die. It's also going to have 4GB of RAM. That should be enough for Crysis anyway. It's not really RAM intensive, I would have thought. But no, it will not be able to run Crisis off of the whole 8 cores. Them cores would be on fire, and then the house will burn down. So not at all, not at all. 65 watts, which is, you know, that's pretty standard. It's not super energy efficient, but 65 watts is pretty good, pretty good. Well, I'm just glad that it's here. Like, I can finally move my father off of that damn Mac, the Mac that I gave him, but that's besides the point. I've been trying to convince him for ages. Dad, just, you know, let me build you something, you know, under £500 and get you something that will run so much faster, because the man isn't very technical, and I'm the one that needs to actually go and fix things on his Mac when it goes wrong. And it is painful when applications, including Safari, takes about 1.5 minutes to load. So that's really painful. And I will be performance testing this on Thursday, making a video about that. And I just got a notification. And I'm very popular today. What's going on? Hopefully AMD comes up with more innovation. I mean, I've been very, very annoyed with Intel lately, up until this year, because they haven't been innovating. They've probably done the research and development, or should I say they've done the research but they haven't done the development to market. Because why would you bring out a brand new lineup with brand new features, with brand new basic levels of cores, double them, you know, the baseline was 2, 4, I know 3, it's down 4. The top ends now have 6, 8, 10 cores to them, whereas before the top was really 6 or 8. I mean, for a while, I mean, the processor I've got in this computer right here is an i7 6700, 4 cores. The same number as this, and that was £270, and this is 85. Big difference. So the system I will be making is a 2200G Ryzen 3, 4GB of DDR4. The man doesn't need 8, not for Spotify and iTunes and YouTube. Well, I bloody hope not. A 500 watt power supply, gold rated, gotta save the planet. An M.2 SSD, so that's a Kingston SSD, rated 250GB, rated about 550 megabytes a second, so way more than he needs. Music doesn't play that fast. An LG monitor, 27-inch LG, so much bigger than the display on his old iMac. So as the old man's vision is going, got to step up in the monitor game. Pretty happy about the monitor choice, although I'm a little bit annoyed because Prime Day started the day after, and he would have saved like £40–50. Bit annoying, but hey, that's life. Oh, the motherboard I went for was a Asus Prime, and that's a micro ATX board. Originally I did want to go for a micro ATX boards, the really small ones, but for AM4 there isn't a lot of choice for a mini ATX boards. There was like 2 for the requirements that I was looking for, so I had to go with a micro ATX, which is a bit bigger. So I couldn't go for a really small factor case, which is a bit of a shame because it doesn't need power and just wanted to be in the corner of the room, so no need for RGB. Shame. Real shame. Right, thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, doubt you did. I'll be building this computer in about 2 days, and then I can give you some real performance figures. Gonna get a couple games and see what the APU can really deliver. Right, thank you for watching.